I now recognize Ms. Greene for her 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for bringing this excellent panel of witnesses before us. While Democrats on our committee want to widen the road and create a bigger invasion into the United States of America, enabling human trafficking, cartels making over $150 billion a year on selling little girls, little boys, and selling people into the United States and selling drugs, Republicans are committed to securing our border, Mr. Chairman, and firing the people whose failed policies are killing Americans every single day. I want to remind everyone, we serve the United States of American citizens, not the rest of the world. That needs to be made clear. You need to remember your oath of office, people. Ms. Snodgrass, I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
My children are 25, 23, and 19. I can't imagine what you go through, losing a child.
I can tell you that those cartels are targeting your children. They're targeting military-aged youth in this country from China and Mexico. They're targeting your children.
That's right. They're targeting everyone's children. Ms. Snodgrass, we had another witness come before our committee. Mrs. Rebecca Kiesling testified before this committee in March of this year. She lost her 2 sons to fentanyl poisoning like you lost your son. She lost them in 2020. And she passionately called out the current administration for its pathetic border security policies that aren't securing our border, opening our border, that made the fentanyl crisis even worse. However, she was laughingly mocked by the President of the United States, Joe Biden, for her criticism of the ongoing border crisis because that fentanyl they took came during the last administration. How did Joe Biden's comments when he laughed at her sit with parents like you who lost a child to fentanyl poisoning? How did that make you feel, Ms. Snodgrass?
Thank you for the question. I was here with Rebecca that day. And the next day, when that comment was made, she was devastated. All of us in the fentanyl family groups were devastated by that comment. It's unconscionable that this is not recognized as a red, white, and blue issue. This is American children dying on American soil. No one knows what their voting history is when they're sold a drug. She went underground for a month after that. We all will never forget. We will never forget the disrespect paid to us, and particularly Rebecca lost 2 sons. We'll never forget it. And to think that this could be talked about in terms of who died on whose watch is, there's no explanation for that. This country is being targeted. It's a war being won, in my opinion, on American soil. They're killing 112,000 Americans. That's war. We need drug terrorists to be declared as terrorists. Fentanyl is a weapon of mass destruction. This is a war being waged. We are not standing up to it. We need to turn the tables and take this war to them. Take this war to them instead of us responding poorly, in my opinion. Take this to them. Turn the tables.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And I'm very sorry for your loss. Mr. Gellerant, I'm sorry, I can't see your...
That's all right, Gallant, sorry.
Gallant. Yes. You know, I find it so hypocritical of you to listen to you basically mock former President Trump's administration, attacking the policies of testing for DNA, keeping children safe while they are ensuring that they are with a parent, while this administration, under Secretary Mayorkas, under Joe Biden, this administration, Democrats have lost over 85,000 children in our country. We cannot find them. We cannot find them. And you know what? Here, listen to this. This is so disturbing to me. The very fact the very fact that this administration sent more than 100 children to the same address in Austin, Texas, while other Texas addresses received 44 and 25 minors respectively, that is outrageous. That is outrageous. And I don't have a question for you. I just want you to understand that there is no criticism of the former administration and the ridiculous numbers and the so-called separating children from their parents. No, that's called keeping them safe. Ms. Cantu, wouldn't you say that that's what your husband was able to do under the former President Trump's administration, was keep children safe?
Yes, ma'am.
And how does your husband feel now, and all of the brave men and women in the Border Patrol? How does it affect their mentality? How does it affect their marriages? How does it affect their families when they have their hands tied behind their backs? They're not allowed to protect these children. They watch regular Americans get fired every single day, but yet we can't impeach Secretary Mayorkas because that's impeachment theater. How has that affected Border Patrol agents?
It's overall beyond frustrating. These Border Patrol agents carry that weight with them every day. The fact that they cannot comply with the oath that they swore on the day that they graduated from their academy. This is a flag that classes wave in the academy in Artesia. This is the promise that they made. This represents a promise, the oath, the ability to protect this country, and that's their frustration. They no longer have that. They're no longer allowed to practice the laws that they were taught. Nothing even special. It's just the basic books.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I wish we had another round with these witnesses.
We do, if you want to stick around. We did say at the beginning that we would allow a second round of questioning, so.
Ms. Greene from Georgia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On July 25th, 2023, Chairman Comer and I sent the Department of Justice a letter requesting information related to victims of Hunter Biden, specifically women he sexually exploited and then claimed as deductions on his taxes through his law firm. But he never paid those taxes. Not surprisingly, the Department of Justice did not respond. After the DOJ's sweetheart Hunter Biden deal fell apart, by the way, led by the special counsel David Weiss, on September 8th, 2023, Chairman Comer and I again sent a letter to the same DOJ officials asking about victims' rights issues related to Hunter Biden's sexual exploitations. DOJ once again failed to respond. Well, yesterday I found out why they don't want to talk with us. In a new email just released, by the way, from October 2020, could you please display the email? The Delaware U.S. Attorney's Office, DOJ, Tax, FBI, and IRS described evidence they have related to Mann Act violations. By the way, the subject of the email says Mann Act. First, the title, Mann Act. Then it's clear there are charges on the table while the Department of Justice is in hiding from meeting with me. The Department of Justice and IRS email and David Weiss's Delaware U.S. Attorney's Office, the email states there are communications with trafficker number 1 and trafficker number 2, and that Hunter Biden had escorts who traveled across state lines. These women are victims, and the Department of Justice is refusing to protect their rights. Not only that, David Weiss, the now special counsel in charge of supposedly investigating Hunter Biden, has been clearly covering up Hunter Biden's crimes since before the 2020 election, which is undoubtedly election interference. David Weiss is complicit and must be removed from the special counsel. We also have more information we subpoenaed. Let me give you an even better example based on an interview with one of Hunter Biden's victims with law enforcement. It says here that the victim, Hunter Biden's victim, stated that Biden told her that his father was the vice president and asked to Google search his name. Hunter Biden's victim stated she told Biden she was not interested in Google searching his name and just wanted to be paid. Hunter Biden's victim stated that Biden then showed her a picture of his father with President Barack Obama. Don't forget, his father was vice president then. Hunter Biden's victim stated after she was shown the aforementioned picture, who was the vice president of the United States with the president of the United States, Barack Obama, she became afraid. After Hunter Biden's victim left the location, she arrived back at her apartment and told her friend, who she was just with, Hunter Biden's victim stated that her friend told her, "You have no idea who you're dealing with." These women were terrified, terrified. He used his father, Hunter Biden used his father, the vice president of the United States, to threaten his victim, who he had just trafficked for sex. And the Department of Justice refuses to speak to me? Hunter Biden needs to be held accountable for his sexual exploitation of women. And we've shown more evidence. We've shown evidence. This is what it looks like. This is what Mann Act violations look like.
Mr. Chairman,
I reclaim my time.
I'd like
reclaim
to
my
challenge
time.
the use of this
Hunter
exhibit
Biden
under
should
Clause
be
6
held
of Rule
accountable.
17.
It is sad that my
Point
Democrat
of order.
colleagues
Point of order.
pretend to care about women's rights while allowing Hunter Biden to exploit women. This is a shame. But let's talk about...
Chairman,
let's
there's
go
a
little
parliamentary challenge before us.
The point of
Mr.
order.
Chairman, point of order.
Who's the point? And we'll stop the clock for you, Ms. Greene.
Mr. Chairman, our colleague from Georgia has introduced before pornographic exhibits and displayed things that are really not suitable for children who might be watching. And
A bathing suit's not suitable, Mr.
Well,
Raskin?
I'm saying I would like the member to be instructed to not introduce any pornography today, at least without running it
A
through the chair
bathing
first.
suit is not pornography,
Well, we
Mr.
can't see it
Raskin.
from down there, so you didn't make it available to the minority before you
I've seen
started.
it before. It's
Okay.
on the internet. It's everywhere.
You are submitting a naked woman's body,
This is a bathing suit. This is a bathing suit.
and it has not been cleared before this committee.
right.
Glasses on. Do you wear them
Okay.
or not? It's a
I have
bathing suit.
contacts in. Thank
Oh,
you.
congratulations.
All right. Chair asked Ms. Greene to proceed.
Now let's talk about more evidence the Democrats have